So today we're going to talk a little bit about unwrapping. Unwrapping is basically the reverse modeling of a model. It's the projection of textures through the flattened model in a 2D format. And so the best way to think of it is like a light projector. If you shine a light projector on the wall, it looks really good. But if you stand in front of the light projector, the edges start blurring around the corners where the light doesn't reach. You have to think of unwrapping like flattening out a cardboard box. It basically is all laid out before you print on it. You can't print on a box that's already constructed. So one of the first things that I would say that the key point in unwrapping is that automatic unwrapping isn't always good. Sometimes it's easier to use cylindrical or box or even planar to grab a large chunk of geometry to basically unwrap. A prime example is an appendage. Instead of having to go back and stitch everything together, you can simply select the geometry, grab it, use a cylindrical map, and there you go. You have the full leg in one piece. Another thing is symmetry. Oftentimes we're working in symmetrical models, whether it's figures, creatures, even some objects, spaceships, and things like that. And so breaking those things apart is sometimes easier to do one half and then mirror it or make it symmetrical and then unwrap it again. It makes for half the work. And then finally, one of the biggest tips that I can tell you is sometimes it's easier to unwrap right away when you start with your basic shapes versus when you have a high poly object to work with. If I unwrap a leg before I get too much shape and form into it, that object will basically hold that mesh as long as I don't extrude or do any massive changes to the shape of the geometry. So sometimes it's easier to unwrap right when you're doing your low polys. So those are 3 good tips for creating simple unwraps and making life a little bit easier. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching.